Hi everyone, Jasmine O'Reilly here from LVL UP Consulting with the People First Projects podcast, or Vodcast if you're watching us in real time. I've got a different episode today and I'm really excited to have Nigel Schmalkachet sitting next to me. And if you've seen any of my LinkedIn posts, you'll know that Nigel and I, we do projects together, a lot of Queensland government work, but we've been collaborating for over a year now, Nigel.
That's right.
Yeah, and I really enjoy working with you, Nigel, because not only are you essentially LVL UP's client, but you mentor me. You teach me a lot about...
We both learn from each other.
Thanks, Nigel. I think it's more you teaching me, but that's all right. But not just about strategic architecture and enterprise architecture, because I am just a humble project manager, but I'm learning more about the technical things. But also about some life lessons and things to know as a business owner. And you have got some life lessons to share with us today, and we can talk about what that is and how it may approach to project work as well.
Yes, that's right.
Over to you.
So on the weekend I went away with my son on a beautiful mines retreat at Emu Gully. Not really a retreat, it's an army camp, so not exactly that. But I have a life lessons from that. I couldn't believe it. So what they have is a series of really tough challenges, and the one I found the worst was the confined spaces, which you have to go down a hole, through a pipe, and then you have to grab a rope and launch yourself from the rope across rock climb around a big lot of dirty water that you don't want to fall into, and then come through a hole at the end. And anyway, what happened was my son's really keen and he's always at the front and he goes through and then he helps others, easy. And I started to do that mentality before I went through because I was petrified going through. I went over and watched him and started helping others as well. You can do it, even lugging a big grown man out of the pipe onto the ground. So that was really good. So I was watching that and I was seeing that happen, and then when I actually went down, and you have to go right down to this confined space, move along, go in the dark through gravel and everything else. You've got kids screaming in front of you and behind you, and you get yourself out there. And I was able to get through, and I couldn't believe it. And it was because I was helping others, because I was encouraging others. It's not that far, exactly, that it helped me, and the breathing techniques which I try to apply as well. I was able to do that. Now, I've been thinking about that, and applying that in your work environment as well is key, because you get challenges, your public speaking, or you might be trying to, doing an interview or whatever. Helping others can also help yourself. So
I want to unpack that further, but if anyone is a project manager, a program manager, or a sponsor on the line, that metaphor, now I didn't know where we were going with this, but that metaphor of confined spaces and people encouraging you and getting stuck and it being high stress, that is project management. We feel that all the time, especially when you're in the thick of the pipe, as you say, and you've got to find a way out and you've got to problem solve in a dynamic and real-time way.
You're not sure how you're going to get through it.
No idea how you're going to get through it, but I guess the lesson is you do eventually. Either someone helps you or you figure out a way, and there you are, and you don't fall in the water. So that is what we do on a daily basis. You probably don't get to experience that as often as us, but we have high periods of stress.
Well, I guess architecture has a certain level of complexity as well.
Oh, totally.
And trying to explain things to a non-technical audience can be a challenge as well. But going through that, I can now say that I can go through confined spaces and apply that in my daily work.
Beautiful. And what about the helping others part? How does that apply to your work?
Well, I think helping others, if you're talking about different ways, you're thinking of different ways in which they can overcome. So say with public speaking, they can prepare, or they can do that breathing that we talk about, the breathing into the stomach, not just the high level breathing, so the actual proper breathing. I think if you start to apply some of those techniques when you talk to others, you do it more naturally yourself. You don't forget about it because it's a natural thing that you should do.
Yeah, absolutely. And as you know, I'm really passionate about people first style of project management. And I think you've rightly pointed out that when you're helping others and when you're putting other people at the forefront of your thinking and your approach, it actually makes your job a little bit easier too. And by helping them, you're helping yourself, and you're all finding your way through the tunnel.
And you learn from others.
Yeah.
When you're helping those, you're learning. Okay, there's a new approach in taking on that challenge.
I love it. So
Yeah.
takeaways from this podcast episode today, give everything a try, even if it's stressful, find a way out and help others, and everybody benefits. Thank you for your wisdom, Nige.
No
Love it
problem
as
at all.
always.
Yeah.
We'll see you next time on the People First Projects podcast.
Thank you. Bye.